Welcome.
Welcome.
It's lovely to hear from you again. Would you like me to turn the red light down a little more?
Yes, just a little bit, please.
Is that okay?
Yes, that's much better. Welcome, my new friend Leslie.
Thank you.
We've been expecting you.
Oh, I'm so pleased to hear that. I've waited a long time.
We thank you for your long journey today.
That's nice. Thank
It's
you.
very much appreciated on our side, you know.
Thank you so much.
We know you have some very good questions for us. You're not on the spot just yet, though. Let you settle in and get a bit more comfortable.
Thank you.
So, shall we begin this evening
Yes.
with your mental health question?
Yes, thank you.
Whether your healing guides can channel energy to help, I do believe is the essence of your question.
Yes.
When it is more of a psychological problem than a physical issue.
Yes.
The answer is very much harder to deal with. For whilst the physical element is molecules and atoms and vibrational energy, which is of course what we are doing here this evening.
Yes.
You may notice my voice is changing slightly as different ones of us push to the front to answer your questions, you see, for we each have different expertise.
Yes.
And we each influence the other. It's a complicated network of spirit energies blended together trying to talk simultaneously.
Yes.
So the answer to your question is it is possible but very much harder to do. Psychological issues, you see, are not actual damage to any physical part of the body.
Yes.
Which is why it is very much harder to correct. And sometimes the healing may come in the form of questioning or discussion to unlock the various thinking processes.
I see.
But it depends on what the ailment is. You see, for many of your ailments are self-inflicted through your mental anguish and pain.
Yes.
Not so much with psychological issues, although they can be. So it very much varies on case to case. Would you have an example you would like to throw forward?
Do I have an example? Yes. It's just a lady who came to see me this week. She's been to many healers, has even travelled abroad, but couldn't find any relief from severe depression and suicidal thoughts for 2 long years. And she's suffering terribly. She cannot find any relief. She has been given psychotic drugs to help her and antidepressants. I wasn't sure if I could be of help or not.
Yes, that is a very interesting case. She is.
Yes.
One has to delve into the root cause of her psychological depression.
Yes.
Which will often stretch back into a childhood issue.
Yes.
That has been exasperated. And in her case, compounded by other forces in her life. And other losses that she has suffered.
Yes.
But it is more a case of hypnotherapy than physical healing.
That's helpful, thank you.
But she needs to go back and address the root cause and understand her path and her journey and why she is here. And the fact that she is here for herself.
Yes.
Not for others. It does not change the hurt or the loss that she feels. But understanding her purpose and her goal will change her perspective.
When a challenge like anxiety or depression is deemed to be a chemical imbalance in the brain, does that make it a physical ailment, or does it remain purely psychological?
It is a physical ailment in the sense, as you quite correctly say, with a chemical imbalance, but the cause of the chemical imbalance is what you need to treat. For merely treating the ailment temporarily will not cease it to function.
Okay.
It will simply come back again.
Okay, thank you.
That's very helpful, and I will pass that information on to her, and I know she'll be very grateful. I appreciate that, thank you. Can I ask another question relating to mental health?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Can you explain what may cause a psychosis, where there is hallucinations and severe mental impairment? Can you explain what causes psychosis?
There can be a number of different factors for the psychosis. As our friend here suggests, a chemical imbalance can lead to psychosis, which can be triggered by another event. It can also be through great trauma or stress that can cause the chemical imbalance.
Yes.
So there are a number of different factors and reasons as to why that may occur.
Mm-hmm. It's usually based in psychological trauma and the remembering of it.
Yes, in rare occasions you may also have a spirit entity attached.
See, that sounds interesting actually, because I wondered about that. How interesting. See, I have had an experience of it myself.
Yes, we know.
Yes. And I wasn't sure why.
And you have understood the great mental stress and trauma that can go with such an event.
Yes, absolutely. It's terrifying.
Yes. And in your case, it was a lesson for you.
Oh gosh. Okay. A lesson.
Yes, for your work, so that you might recognize it in others.
Oh gosh.
And so that you may help others, having experienced it yourself.
Yes, I understand that.
You were never in any danger or harm, although you may not have thought so at the time.
Very true. That's helpful, thank you. I did want to ask that, so thank you. We've had some questions from the medium's brother. Could I go ahead with a slightly different subject?
Yes, by all means.
Okay. One of the first questions is, what is the purpose of the ego in the human existence?
Well, now we're entering a very interesting subject, right? I'm glad you asked, my dear. Well, the ego is part of your attachment when you come here. The ego, as you know it, the sense of self, is very important and very vital for your development. I believe your second question is, can it be eradicated?
Yes. You always know what's coming next.
And the answer is no, not totally, for it is a vital part. Of course, you aspire to your enlightenment, to rid yourself of egotistical thoughts.
Yes.
And that is a good thing, but you need a sense of self, for you're in a physical dimension. And the metaphysical you needs the ego to reflect and balance your life. If you had just pure soul connection, without any connection to the ego, then you would be, in a sense, remembering your true self. And therefore your experiences would become rather futile, and you would not learn in the same way, would you know? You've come here to experience and develop and grow. But if you had, I will speak metaphorically, the big white light plugged into your head,
Yes.
and your higher knowledge straight from the word go, then you would not bother to try, would you? There would be nothing to overcome. There would be no grounds for development, and you would say, well, it's okay, I'll just go home. At the end of it, it does not matter. There would be no struggle, there would be no resistance, and therefore no growth and no development. So it is a vital ingredient and part of the physical connection to this existence.
the third part of the question was, should we listen to our higher self? Should we attempt to listen to our higher self more than our ego?
Well, yes, of course. That is part of your developmental journey, to start to understand who you truly are, and to have the comparison, to blend and compare your existence with your higher existence. So the more you can listen to your higher self, the more it will inspire you to make choices from love, not from hatred or greed or vanity.
Thank you.
As light workers, we're encouraged to, by our human mentors, to work at suppressing the ego to enable us to work as mediums and healers. Is that absolutely necessary? Because I often think that you need a little bit of sense of self to be able to do the work we do.
Yes, exactly, my dear. The ego is important. You have an ego for a reason. And it is important that you enjoy your successes. For if you were purely on the soul connection, you would just be indifferent, would you not? But you'd be sat there saying, yes, I know I'm doing the right thing, I'm on the right path, I'm living and helping others as God intended. And that is correct also. But where would be the joy? For you came here to joyously create as well as learn. And you are fully entitled to experience joy and pleasure in its many different forms. It's part of the attraction of coming to this dimension. So yes, you may pump your fist and say, I did that, yes.
Do you know, I absolutely do sometimes. When I get a message and it's...
We know, that is why we...
Sorry, I do, I go, yes!
If you could reach, you could pat yourself on the back and say...
But I quickly suppress it, that's the thing, that joy, that sense of joy.
Don't, it will not deflect your gift. Because
I think then, oh my gosh, that's egotistical, so therefore I shouldn't feel that.
No, wallow in it, mate.
Wallow in it.
Enjoy every nanosecond. But when you are serving others and helping another, why not? Why should you not enjoy that?
And the joy on their joy too.
Joy creates joy, doesn't it?
Or the reassurance, or the, the relief sometimes that people feel when you've supported them to understand that there is life after life.
Exactly. So enjoy it, every moment of it, but do not cross the line to show off to others.
Yes.
That is the difference that you're looking for.
So in the moment, it's okay to enjoy the joy.
Absolutely.
But yeah, not wear it like a necklace around your neck.
To gloat and to show off to others is not an attractive choice.
No, absolutely.
But to enjoy within is absolutely wonderful and should be embraced.
That's nice, isn't it?
And we feel your joy,
Do you?
Yes. For all your individual guides that are connected to you energetically, and they're here to keep you safe and guide you. Your joy is felt like a chain, like a wave. It ripples down. We enjoy your joy, and we feel your sadness as well.
That was just about to be my next question.
We know. And other emotions. But we share with you, we are connected mentally.
Can I ask if there's a link between spirituality and loneliness?
I beg your pardon, Lydia.
Between spirituality and loneliness.
What is the question?
So, feeling lonely, is it right that spiritual people may feel more lonely than others?
Yes, in the sense that you feel more isolated because you feel different. But it is you that feels the difference, not the reality. For you are different spiritually, but there are many more spiritual people than you may assume. You do not ask everyone, of course, for fear of ridicule or rejection, but you'd be surprised how many people are awakening and open to a spiritual path. So whilst you may feel isolated and different to the norm, you're really not that different, but your sense of it makes you feel isolated and therefore lonely. I would suggest you try a gentle approach to see who else may be interested in the way you would chat normally, and you might be very surprised.
Okay, thank you.
And of course, you may use your psychic gifts to ask if they are a spiritual person. Your connection is very good, is it not? Do you not get the answers you normally desire?
Yes.
You just happen to ask the right questions.
Okay. I need to trust myself more, I think.
Yes. Go with your gut instinct, for that is your guide.
Okay, thank you.
And that is never wrong.
I have another question that was sent in by someone else, and I just wanted to ask it. The question is, if a baby is born prematurely, which then affects the astrological chart, is their personality affected by the earlier point of their birth?
The answer to the question is no, but I will explain for the benefit of the others the implications of the question. For you may not have considered this when you look at astrological charts.
Yes.
How can 1/12 of your population have similar characteristics?
Very true.
Yet they seem to, do they not? For many people will say, I am a typical Aries or a typical Capricorn or whatever it may be. And by and large, the descriptions of your star signs seem to be correct, do they not? And yet this is dumbfounding, is it not?
Yes.
How can 1/12 of the whole world's population have similar characteristics?
Yes.
And yet I will give you something else to consider. You choose when you're going to be born.
Dun, dun, dun.
As part of the personality characteristics you wish to experience. So the timing of your birth is no accident. So in answer to your question, if you are born prematurely, will that be different for you? And the answer is everything is planned, even your premature birth.
So thinking about that, say if there's a child that's being carried in the womb that lasts just a few minutes after birth, is that planned too, and why?
Yes, there are occasional mistakes which would be re-engineered, but this is back to a previous discussion on time, where time is circular, not linear. So you may go back. If a mistake occurs, we must simply wind the videotape back to make a simple analogy for you and play it again. But also, children are born to play a role in someone else's part.
Yes.
As we explained before, it is like a stage with a light on, and the actors on the stage are you. And we are all sat in the audience watching in the dark. But there are many, many stages with many, many lights on. And when you come from our place onto a stage, you have a role to play, but you will agree to take a role in other people's plays also. And for example, a parent wishes to be a grief counselor in their next existence. They may choose to suffer a terrible loss to truly know what that experience feels like. So someone will agree to be that baby, to be that life, just for a few minutes, so that you may learn and develop and grow.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does actually. Yes, it does, thank you.
I have two questions. One follows on a little from a previous one. There are very many what people call esoteric practices, astrology being one, and then you have, people who work psychically, people who work mediumistically, or both, or all. Other things, like the dark arts, as they're called, crystals, many different sort of things that people stereotypically call, the word you mentioned earlier, weird. Are they all part of some kind of spiritual practice, or is there things that separate each thing from the other?
They're all energetic practices.
Okay.
For at the end of the day, your dimension is a large bowl of soup. You may see it as solid, but of course if you were smaller on your quantum level, you would understand just how far apart your molecules and atoms are. So it is all energy, vibrational energy, and different practices to control and manipulate that energy, or communicate through it, perhaps I should say. Although there are those that seek power by controlling energy, power over others. At the end of the day, it is all energy, energetic practice. For if you truly knew who you were and what you could do, you would laugh at some of these practices. If you understood, as we previously discussed, your ability to manifest and to joyously create, then you would have no need for any of the other stuff. And every one of you can do this. Once you understand how your will changes in response to how you feel.
Following on from that question, Lucia mentioned the dark arts. So what I mean by that is it possible, as much as healers can work in the energy of the light and of good, is it possible for others to send negative energy out? Is that something that could affect others?
Yes, the effect on others is limited. But there are those, energy is energy at the end of the day. And there are those that seek to send energy for negative reasons.
Yes.
But it is against the laws of your universe.
Is it right to think that if negative energy is sent to you, then actually, if you have grounded and protected yourself, you can deflect that energy back?
Yes, in the sense of you cannot send it back like a ray gun.
No, not like a punishment, no.
That's a show now.
But the energy obeys a set of laws. Just as you cannot send healing to someone who does not wish to receive it. You cannot send negative energy to someone who is not open and aware of what is going on. Which is why so many of these people use fear as a tactic before they do any practice. But they are creating a self-manifesting situation.
Yes.
In actual fact, it is yourself that is your own worst enemy, in the belief that negative energy is being sent to you. Therefore it is. And therefore it appears as though the negative practice has succeeded. But they have frightened you with their threats or whatever. Or your imagination running wild because you believe them to be dangerous people.
Because there is, a lot of people believe in the concept of psychic attack. And I've met people who have been completely convinced that that's what they've experienced. I mean, so in reality, they may have experienced it if they haven't, if they were aware that someone was thinking about them with a difficult intent. I'm getting confused.
Yes.
I know what you're saying.
There is a very fine line here. I will answer on behalf of my colleagues. There is a very fine line here between the type of energy attack that you're talking of and the type of defense, if you like, or the type of resistance to it. For if you find that people who have clearly stated that they have suffered with a psychic attack, then you will see they are often vulnerable type people, susceptible.
Okay.
Susceptible mentally to feel that people are attacking them at the slightest suggestion, and therefore they feel genuine and real feelings that they are being attacked. And this is because they are susceptible to it, because their own imagination is their own worst enemy. But it is also true, of course, that if someone is wishing you harm, that they may make their presence felt, and then you unfortunately do the rest. And make it a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you have opened yourself out to such suggestion. And it is the power of your mind, you know. It is really amazing once you start to understand it. And once you start to understand that it is your own self-doubts and your own self-fears that make you then vulnerable. If you believe you are totally made of steel and totally untouchable, then guess what? But if you believe the person is a very powerful person, if you believe the perpetrator is a very powerful entity who can do you harm, then your imagination will start to run riot, and you'll start to feel that every little thing that goes wrong for you is further evidence of their attack.
So it's best not to pay it any attention, really.
So be true to yourself, understand your own power and your own ability to create. Understand that it is you in control. Understand that no one else can harm you unless you allow it to make it so.
Face is changing, can you see?
Yes, actually.
Just the lower.
That was very much a different voice that came from
Yes.
then.
Different authority.
Quite quick, wasn't it? Yes.
This gentleman hasn't got the medium's facial hair.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, although he has got his moustache.
Face is quite primitive.
I do apologise for getting personal about your physical appearance there. Could you tell us who you are, or have you retreated again now?
I think the change is going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes, Leslie, if you sort of slightly alter the focus of your eyes, almost as if you're squinting, almost just slightly soft focus. Sometimes it's quite astounding, actually.
Last week we had very different.
Last week it was
I'm
incredible.
so jealous that you saw that.
Oh, I'll see it again.
Oh, I hope so.
Unbelievable.
Oh, it's powerful.
Can you tell?
Yeah.
He feels he's getting taller as
Can
well.
you see? A very long face.
Yes.
Can you see that? It's changed.
And also, I do feel there's something going on with the left hand.
Yeah, that's been happening for a while, hasn't it?
Yes.
He's, I think, maybe pointing again or attempting
Did
to.
talk about how the energies affect the hands that came a
Yes.
couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
The energy going
The other hand is starting to influence as well, I think.
That second voice is distinctly different, isn't it?
And it was such a change.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. They bring through people with different expertise that are excited to speak to them.
He was one of those
Wow.
things really quick.
Yeah.
I have got one question about gender that I'd love to ask.
Yeah, that come up last week, but go.
Is it alright to ask it again?
Totally.
I can't believe he knew that I did that in demonstration sometimes.
And then I think about it.
That's the
You know, you're not thinking and you're just excited for people.
I'm sitting here thinking, feeling a bit guilty, thinking, I've never seen that bit of behaviour.
Say that 2 minutes ago.
Thinking, will they still like me?
You know that's going to get brought up now, maybe.
I know. They love us unconditionally, just as we are, I do believe.
And it's funny when he was talking about if we truly understood the power of our own mind. And I had a doctor's appointment this afternoon where we were discussing the power of the brain
Yes.
and what a powerful organ it is in terms of how it can, it is about that positive thinking, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Attracting positive energy.
Yeah.
Mm.
If you think you can, you will.
Yes.
If you think you can't, you won't.
I talked about that on TV on Sunday. What I heard in this trance circle, I shared as my topic.
Really?
Yes. Yes. How
Did
to
people
manifest.
love it?
Yes, they did. Talked about the power of visualization, to feel it as if it's already happened.
Yeah, imagine it as it is.
Before the event has happened. I feel as well there's a sense of cold energy in here. They've come round like up to like the knees.
Yeah.
Someone very strongly wanting to blend here. It's like they mastered the breathing art again, isn't it? When they start to draw close.
You know when he was breathing like an intermission in about, I don't know how many minutes ago, there was almost, I felt like it was, like there was a lady there.
Okay.
I know that sounds weird.
No. Yeah.
The breathing didn't sound deep and...
Yes. I'm aware of a strong energy while the eyes are closed. It's what I call spirit eyes. I can also feel like a physical pull from my solar plexus.
I've got an ache in my temple.
Yeah. It's where the energy is being used that we provide. But they always say they give it us back and a bit on the top. That's what they say. Yes. It's a big effect on me.
Huge effect.
Mhm.
Full positive.
Yes, definitely.
Almost feels like there's somebody relaxing into him when the
Yes.
breathing changes.
Yeah.
His nose has changed.
Okay. Would you like that light would turn down a little more? Is that better? My pleasure. Delighted to have you here, thank you.
The skin will effervesce when we blend properly.
I didn't quite understand that, I'm sorry.
In the light,
Yes.
there will be days when we need it really dark,
Yes.
because his skin will start to glow with that energy as we blend deeper.
Okay. Have we met you before?
I am higher.
You're higher.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a name that you want to give us?
No.
Okay.
Would you turn your red light off
Yes,
completely, please?
absolutely.
So that only your green light is shining.
Yes, I'm aware of the green light, yes. It makes it easier to see energy. I can see energy. I think, I don't know if it's the medium's beard, but around his chin.
It's lighter, isn't it?
It almost glows. It's like glowing.
Yeah, it's like a lime green.
I can see it more if you just look at the chair slightly. It shines brighter.
That's very true, actually, Taylor.
Oh wow. It's almost like his face is disappearing.
And it's like there's a lot of, it's either like a massively full beard of white.
The energy's all around the neck and
Yeah.
the chin, isn't it? It's,
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also a touch on his temple, funnily enough.
yes, wow.
And there's the crease in his right arm.
Yes, good point there, Taylor.
Say again, Taylor, sorry.
And the creases in his right arm.
Oh, yes. The light. Light sort of poking out from underneath his t-shirt sleeve.
Yeah.
This is exciting. But also I see the energy starting to build, I think, on the temple as well.
Yeah.
from where I'm sitting.
Almost like it's eaten his forehead.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
it does.
And I know it sounds a bit, probably, I don't know if it was wishful thinking on my part, but when the medium was breathing, I thought I saw the face of my mum.
Ah,
You probably did. It was like that last week.
Yeah, my dad came through.
But you know when you just think, oh, I want that to be the case, rather than,
yes, but that's okay, I think.
Yeah.
she will at some point try and knuckle in.
If mine did, I'd be a little bit worried about being too emotional.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah,
honest.
human.
know,
really
but-
happy last week.
Yeah, that was
They will all come in time.
Oh, they will all come in time.
Thank you.
Wow.
And you need to request them.
Did I see the face of my mother tonight?
There are many relatives here, all excited to come through.
That's emotional, isn't it?
Happy to, yeah.
Thank you.
They are learning to blend with our energy, you see. It is like a portal we are creating.
So it wasn't wishful thinking.
When you ask for your mother to come through next week,
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you. She'll be absolutely delighted.
Send her down.
She butts in all the time.
each individual who wishes to come through must learn to control the instrument, you see.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Learn to do it like we did.
Male physical instrument will vibrate differently to a female instrument.
Yes.
So it is harder for females to come through.
Okay.
And if they wish to speak as well, then they have to be able to control the instrument's mind, not just to physically show themselves.
Okay.
So it is a lot down to your relatives' abilities, you see, and how
Yes.
much practice they have had.
Okay.
But some will try several times until they master it.
Yeah.
And some may just communicate in sign language,
Yes.
drawing symbols or writing the alphabet in the air, for example.
Yeah.
It is very early in our experiment, do you understand? But we have only had 4 sessions
Yes.
so far, this being the 4th.
I can feel like an emotional energy. Does that make sense? It's almost like, you know,
It is also very important, I might add, that if you do see a relative, that you say so. So
Okay.
thank you,
Okay.
my dear.
Thank you.
And also important that they hear you have been recognized.
okay, yes.
For that will make their vibrational energy stronger. And they will start to surge forwards.
It's funny because you think you see, and you tell yourself off because you think it's because you want to, not because it is. Yeah.
That in a similar way, you see, to our discussion earlier, you are self-manifesting.
Okay.
You believe that you see, then your mother will respond.
You've got to trust
Yeah.
that word again.
Trust, and it's the bane of my existence. Trust, faith, and belief.
For emotion acts like a carrier wave and is the strongest connection of all. When you bring emotion into the mental connection, your psychic connection, as soon as emotion is involved, have you noticed how it amplifies?
Okay.
And your blending deepens rapidly.
You mentioned, sir, about how difficult it is for female spirit to work with a male instrument. Harder. I had a question about gender. Am I able to ask it?
Yes.
Just in the context of the collective, would there be both male and female spirit as part of that collective, or is gender irrelevant?
Gender is irrelevant on our side, although those that have only had female existences in the physical plane may have a leaning towards a different vibrational energy as their natural harmony, their natural resonant frequency. That is why they have a desire to have female incarnations. But each may do both. At the front of the collective, you have seen it as male voices coming through to speak with you. That is purely because it is a male sitting in the chair. But we are gender neutral.
Okay.
Just as you have males who are maybe very feminine in your world, or females who are very masculine. Each may be both, of course, in our world. We just adjust our frequencies to blend with the instrument for the best result, you see. But you will see female faces.
Yes.
And you will hear female voices.
There's a lot of energy building on the face.
Yeah, there is. It's like one side is light, and I know that there's shadow and everything, but from where I'm sitting anyway.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that there's a lot of light towards the fireplace. And there was one point where I didn't see any features at all. Or
Yeah, me too.
couldn't imagine where the features were.
That's what I've got now. Because the void.
Are you focusing the energy on the facial area for us to see?
Yeah.
I almost feel a sense of a lot of energy being pulled together from the solar plexus. It almost goes with like the manifestation takes more energy.
Yeah. Can I ask them not to take the energy from my noggin? It really hurts.
What's your noggin?
My head.
They're putting it back afterwards.
I know, it really hurts.
Is it hurting?
Yeah.
Last week I had a pain in my eye.
Did you?
Very badly. For about an hour.
It's like the coat, the top of it's like a flip top head.
I might mention that because it actually frightened me.
Yeah.
It was a lot of pain. So I'm not manifesting that, but it was all okay.
No.
Which I shouldn't maybe talk about it, I don't know. I felt they were trying to give me a lesson with it, and I think I know what the lesson was, so I think there was a reason for it.
I think my guides just said about that I must be patient with it because it's in part healing.
There you go. There you go, Lisa.
Why does it have to hurt though?
Because it's a lesson.
I know. It's a healing crisis. I think they like that, don't they? They do like
They do.
They don't like us to be too serious.
This is one.
Are you still with us? Yeah, so it's changing again here.
There's not as much light now.
There's a sense, you sense that? It's like a sense, a change, a depth in the energy. It's almost like the face is disappearing. I know we're darker here. Now I just saw very distinctly a little red flashing light on his face, as clear as day. I've seen that spirit. Quite a red flashing light. That's the first time I saw a strong, bright light there. It's when they start to try and create their physical phenomena. They explained last week they're going to focus on the energy and they can't do the voice at the moment at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think they want us to acknowledge, I feel this because they tell me, I'm sure they want us to acknowledge any changes that we see, that we can see, and to acknowledge it because it allows it to almost manifest a little bit more.
Okay, look, the tall, slim man coming back. His frame seems to have shrunk.
So I think his neck's getting brighter.
Yes.
Sure, it's
Like
taller in the
that.
chair.
Yeah, I
definitely.
agree with that.
Thin and tall in the chair.
It's almost like the neck's growing thinner. You know, like, it sounds so bizarre to me. You know, like Abraham Lincoln was very gaunt
Yes.
and very
That-
cool
that
in the neck.
was-
That's how I feel, I see it.
I saw that face last week.
Like
as well.
green around the arms.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like taking a direct focus slightly over to the side.
If you just look like at the top of the chair,
Yeah.
you can focus more on.
But he's not that tall in the chair, is he? He's growing out of the chair.
I think you've got a good point there. It's
Yeah.
being not taller.
Yes.
There's a lot going on there energetically
Yeah.
because I've lost all features.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to look at them.
Yeah.
I felt I saw, you know, like gentlemen in the 1920s or 30s, and they'd have that slick, brill creamed hair.
Yeah.
I thought I saw like a brill creamed head of hair that was quite dark.
I can see you, thank you. It's quite powerful actually, it's really starting to build.
Around the chin
And the top of the
and
head.
the top of the head.
It just seems to have like elongated his head.
Yeah.
You don't look straight in the chair anymore either.
No.
Can you see the broad creamed gentleman again?
I just saw a little blue light above what would be his right eye.
It just seems like also like the energy's moving. You know, like across the face. As it builds, it seems to move and change. Mould and form. It's almost like a spotlight that seems to move on different areas. I see
Got
it.
no breathing.
Pardon?
No breathing.
Don't scare me.
It's so still.
You know what? You've got a good point there. I know that our medium is safe.
There you go.
No, it's just exhale. It's just exhale. It's fine.
You just said, okay.
Yeah, it's just exhale.
Yes.
Okay. But it has got it very silent, didn't it?
Yeah, very still. Yeah.
Really wanting to show us something, I know that.
Thank you.
Very lucky, aren't we?
Yeah.
I almost have a sense of emotion.
Well, this is what I'm feeling.
You've been emotional too, you're okay. You see, there's many there for us. I feel the emotion too.
Perfume.
And I can smell toast, but it could be someone in my kitchen. I'm serious, I can smell toast.
Oh, it's like freesias.
Who's Patrick?
My dad.
I'm sure we draw closely then, you know. Maybe he was trying to
That's
show us
why you felt the emotion, lovely. The tearful thing.
Yeah, I can feel when he comes. I can feel him on my back. But the brill cream is my dad.
Oh, bless you.
But my dad, had a paralysed right arm and he had an amputated right leg.
Oh,
So that's what she knew. I could see
Yes.
he was losing that side.
Oh, wow.
Dark hair, brill cream.
Yeah.
Quite pronounced.
Yes. Griff's curls.
What do you call them? When they lose their hair.
When he's seeking.
Yeah.
I bet it was.
I'm feeling it now.
I'm sure you're right.
Because you didn't have a parting in it, just swept back.
Sweat back.
Yeah.
This is like a thing of the veil between the two worlds, isn't it? Through the wonderful mediumship of our medium. I just saw some little purple lights again there on his torso.
And interestingly, I never call him by his name, I just call him Dad. Obviously always, because I'm out of respect. But my son's named after him.
Oh.
And I was asking for him to draw close to give him some protection.
Oh, bless you. So that he's responded and shown himself and worked really hard to do that as
Very
well.
much so, yeah.
They did say, you need to ask. It's like, west.
Yeah,
North.
yeah.
So maybe in our hearts we can all ask for something as well. And there can be. We're aware of the energy, we can see the energy on the face and around the neck very clearly.
Strong. Can I just say there's a light in the jar
That's what that is, yeah.
It's
The top jar.
the top jar in the lower portion of what I think it must be
Yes.
is like a aurora borealis purple.
Really?
I'm not just
Can you
thinking.
see it from this angle?
Yeah.
See, I struggle to see it from. You're going to have to keep your eye on the jars, lady, that side of the room, because I'm struggling to see it.
I like purpose. I thought I saw colours in it earlier, but you know when you just think to yourself, is that
I'm
Yeah.
imagining it.
You
Yeah.
might feel that looks like a flame there.
Where? In the
Yeah,
jar?
Yeah,
Like
no,
purple
no,
flame.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you not
Oh,
see
I
that?
just saw a flash and then it's gone.
Flash.
You see the
Yeah.
flash and then it's just...
Yeah.
Actually, I can see
Yeah.
that.
And then it's
Yes,
got
can
like a description.
Yeah. Do you not think?
Yeah,
There is, it's like an
Purple.
iridescent.
Last week, the face that came forward was absolutely astounding.
Really? When you say came forward, how did it sort of reach
That we
out?
could see, that we could visibly
Okay.
see. It's hard to verbally. You was here too.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Lucy, I can't really tell you. It was just I can't really
It was just-
describe it. It was shockingly.
So I
Okay.
wanted to ask you
It's so
something.
visible.
Is that
Yeah.
formed?
Okay.
Just
And it was a sense that came with it. It looked very clearly.
First day, yeah.
So did it come with a sense of an emotion or a feeling?
Of power. That's the
Okay.
only way I can describe it.
Massive
Power.
Okay.
That's the only way I
The
can
hands
describe
lifted.
it. Awe-inspiring, really. No, if I didn't know better, the arms are beginning to lift upwards.
Yeah.
They've certainly moved.
Hello, friend. Very welcome here. Thank you for all your hard work. Are you gesturing to me?
calling
Would you like me to come forward?
Yes.
Do you think? You soon tell me if I approach close. I approach carefully. Step. Gently putting my hand in your hand. Hello. Gosh, I can see a clear face here. I feel a lot of emotion. Hello. Squeezing my hand. Do I know who you are? Is that you, Mum? Yes? Is that you, Mum? I did say I'd cry, Mum. I miss you. Thank you for calling, Mum. It was always very determined. I know things will get better, hey? I know what you're saying. I hope so. Yes, I know you love me, Mum.
Did she have short hair, Claire?
Yes, very.
Okay.
A hand on her heart, that was
You
so
needed
much
that
of I
one.
love you, but she found it difficult to say when she was on the earth. So she's saying, that's beautiful. I know she always did. It wasn't, I wasn't, but she found it difficult to say.
People,
It's incredible. Yeah.
Just the voice.
So she wanted to tell me I love you.
That's beautiful.
You needed that. You did.
And she was saying, there. It's like sign language. Things will get better. And as I stood very close, I could see her face clearly.
Really?
It was the medium's face. It wasn't really the medium's face. There was another face there.
Was she quite short as well?
Yes, she was.
Because it's like
She was small, like big.
Yeah, short like the medium is going.
Yeah.
like a
There's a photo behind us at the back there on the, so you can see her when the lights go on.
like a short spiky.
Yeah, she did short spiky.
Funky sort of.
Yes,
Yeah.
pure white grey, but she also had a short spiky style.
Yeah.
You can see on the photo. She's beautiful. I knew she'd come forward. You know.
It's like his chin's in his chest now.
Yes.
And it was just an immediate sense of real emotion the minute he took my hand.
It's like pure love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't explain it.
No,
Can you?
it's sort of like a feeling through you.
Yeah.
I wonder if the medium at one point would let us take no flash photography to see if we can see orbs in the room.
Yeah, we can certainly ask the spirit if that's something
That would be
that
permissible.
we could do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
It's
Herbert. Herbert comes at the end.
And video too.
Yes.
Thank you.
We
Just
Yeah.
know it's finishing.
we want to experiment.
Okay.
And be on your internet.
Oh.
Yes. So everyone can ask questions.
On the
We want to
internet.
help you.
On the internet.
On the internet. So you want to be live on the internet
Yes.
Oh.
so that people can ask questions.
Yes. When the instruments a bit more confident.
Okay. Is this on something like Facebook Live?
Yes.
Okay.
So big sales
Yes.
and more energy.
A global sale.
Because energy doesn't have to be in the room.
Okay.
So when focus, but lots of people,
So
more energy and more physical effects.
could I? There are groups we could ask to lend their energy at a certain time every week,
Yes. Good.
and groups we could all ask to submit questions.
Yes. We go to Silver Birch. Used to ask questions in the newspaper.
Oh, in the newspaper.
Yes.
I picked up the Silver Birch book today and was looking at that.
I put a quote, Silver Birch quote out.
I loved it.
The other day. I just came across it randomly. Yeah.
So we going to use your latest technology.
Yeah, that makes
You want to
sense. doesn't it?
capitalise on it.
Yes. To be the newspaper.
Okay, I have a lot of to be the newspaper, so it's the equivalent of what was the
Yes,
newspaper.
yes.
So social media.
So I have a lot of equipment, like tripods and things.
Oh.
Yes. Exciting.
We want to help you get the message out.
Yes. You've been chosen to help. You see, a long time ago.
Well, if you can help to guide us, then we'll do whatever's necessary to help.
And it's funny because John who's coming, when I do my lives, he's my glamorous producer.
All right.
And I wonder if that's part of the role that he
Oh,
might
wow,
play.
That's why he's here.
we need him then.
Yeah. Is that right?
It's all a club.
Spoon plus you answered your own question.
No coincidence.
No coincidence there then. Okay.
Oh, wow.
He has already thought that himself, actually.
Wonderful. You can have a chat with what you do.
We are mindful of your time.
Okay. So we loved it. Thank you very much.
We say God bless.
And you.
And good night.
God bless.
God bless
And
you.
God bless and good night. And thank you for working with us
The pleasure is ours.
tonight and in other work that's been going on in the last week or so.
Yes.
We've asked your permission we've asked for your support and we've felt it tangibly, so
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. We help you now.
Yes, I
Thank
know.
you.
And now you've made the connection. You see, it's energy again.
Yes.
And your thoughts. Now you are aware of the collective.
That's right.
Then you are plugged in, so to speak.
Yeah, makes sense. Absolute sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
so much.
Very brave.
With the little boy.
What did you say?
Oh, your little boy.
Yeah. What did
I didn't quite catch that.
For your little boy.
You said for your little boy. Yes.
As in protection.
Protection for your little boy.
Yeah.
Is that your boy?
Oh, I
Because
see.
you asked for
I
it.
see.
Didn't you?
And isn't that powerful? Nice.
Mm.
Okay.
God's my life's had one today.
That's beautiful. They are all powerful. That's beautiful. Closing prayer. Okay. I've forgotten about the closing prayer. They reminded me.
That's the truth. It's fantastic. You just need them with you all the time as a PA.
But I have been asking that I had 2 temps at spiritual churches. The last 2 weeks I asked the collective for help. I kid you not, I was on another level. Like I've never done so well. It's never been so effortless. I could hear, they give me clairaudience. And that's in the last 2 weeks since I asked for the help. So do ask for the help. I promise you they're there.
I think it's also starting next, like you said, you look like completely different.
Yeah, you do.
Everything's completely.
And it gives you a strength to cope with whatever you've got to cope with in
It
your life.
immense.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.